Alright everyone, how is it going? And welcome back to episode 3 of the FIFA 21 Bundesliga online career mode. Last episode we left off at the end of October after a pretty rough patch of the games, followed up by a pretty decent patch to get us in a bit of form. But it leads us on straight to this episode where we're starting off with November, with the calendar there as you can see. Not that many games this month, but they're not small games, I can tell you that much. The first one here being against Leverkusen, but before we do that, you can see there's a bit more of the youth player stuff that we're not going to focus on too much yet, just because they're not at the level yet where we're going to be interested in. If anything happens with it that is important for the series, I will let you know, no problem. But for now, we're just collecting youth players to their youth academy and see what happens. So yeah, match 1 though, against Bayer Leverkusen. Set our team up the way it is here, slightly different. We've got Neto dropped for a bit, so Schoberschlag can fill in there in the left mid, with Keita and Haas in the middle. Still waiting for Meccano to come back from injury though. This match gets started off in the 15th minute. Pretty lucky on our end as Fredetsky just throws the ball to Lautaro Martinez. And of course he's going to slot that home, it's an open net. Then 30 minutes in, Haas plays the ball through the Huang. He bangs a left foot into the roof net. Make it 2-0. And this one just worked for us very well. 80 minutes in, 2 subs linking up. Lamer playing the ball through to Patson Daka. He chips the keeper. Beautiful finish. 3-0 and we're not done yet. Schoberschlag plays it across to Daka, who just rolls it further across to Lautaro, who smacks the first time into the top corner, making it 4-0. Very solid result there for us. Keeping our form up, which is very nice to see. And after that game, I had a few loan offers for a few players that we don't quite use, but as they're just loan to buy offers, I decided to delegate them both as just loans, see what happens. If they don't go out, I'm not too bothered. If they do, that's fine with me too. But it takes us all the way up to our second game. It was just a second playable game, it means we'll have to sim the last one. But obviously it's against Mönchengladbach, and I do apologise to your eyes, as this game was snowy. Quite the pain to look at, and unfortunately 25 minutes in, we're on the back foot, and just before half time, they were playing pretty well. So you hear him, Baldwin nods the ball down, still hits on the volley. Good save from Galacci in the end. In the 50th minute though, into the second half, Lautaro plays it to Huang. He runs on in, no messing about, into the far corner, equalising the game. And then up to the 90th minute, a nice play, chip it over the Daka, he cracks it on the volley, and what a way to win the match. 6 points out of 6 this episode, exactly what I want. And our good news just keeps getting better. As you can see here, Meccano has returned from injury. We're not going to bring him in straight away though. We're going to wait until that little injury sign does disappear and he's ready to go back in the starting team. Don't want to rush that. And Klosterman and Kanate have been very good regardless. To go in their third match of the month against Hoffenheim. This one obviously being a sim match. That's where we've played our 2 playable games, but 50 minutes in, Huang put this 1-0 up. And Lautaro follows it with the second. And after the 27th minute goal, there were no more, but we do win 2-0. 9 points out of 9 for November. Very, very good. December though, as we move on to look at the calendar here, we have a few more games. Starting off with another cup game, this time against Karlsruhe. I apologise if I butchered the pronunciation of that, but we do play them in the next round of the cup, which we do go and sim. Even though it's an away game, it's always a risk. You never know what can happen with an away sim. We also have rearranged our team slightly for this one. Daniel Olmo comes in the midfield, and 25 minutes in, we do go 1-0 down. And after the 60th minute, I've decided, yeah, I don't want to get knocked out of the cup, so I'll hop on in and try and turn things around with 30 minutes to go. And luckily 50 minutes after that, Daka's running on through. No one's catching him, slots it away at the far post, equalising the game. But we aren't quite able to find the winner. As you can see here, our last chance coming in the 120th minute as Daka absolutely spoons that one over. We have to go in the penalty shootout, which is not ideal, but we'll see what happens. The first penalty, slotted in the top corner, go the wrong way. Next up we've got Schoberschlag, try to put it at the top right. Hits the bar. Not the greatest start, but Galacci makes the save next to get us back into it. Then Daka steps up, places that in the bottom left, no messing about. And the Karlsruhe player steps up, off the bar and just past the line. I mean, how can I compete with that? Like this I can. Huang just beats the keeper at the bottom right hand corner, making it 2-2 again. I do kind of that the right way, but it's just out too far. It's pretty much central, if we're being honest there. Then Pedro Neto has to respond by absolutely spooning it wide. But Galacci is more determined than the rest of our team here. Pulls off the save that allowed a chance for Haas to bring us back in, which he does, drilling it through the middle. Bring us in the sudden death. The next penalty comes up. I dived the wrong way, but it hits the bar, giving us the advantage. If we score this, we win it. And who has to take it but Naby Keita steps up, panenkas it through the middle, and we're through to the next round. A bit dramatic, beating the Bundesliga 2 team, but we're through. Oh, that's all that matters. And also, so is Owen. Dortmund are through to their next game as well. See if we meet each other before the final, if we make it that far, or if we end up playing each other at an earlier round. We'll have to see. Next game though is against Stuttgart. It's away again, and after how that last game went with an away sim, I didn't want to risk this one. Get our team's morale back up here, so no messing about straight into this one as well. So I'm starting things off very early on in the first 4 minutes. As Lautaro plays at the playing, he slots it home, and 5 minutes were half time. Oh, brilliant ball from Szoboszlai through to Lautaro. He runs on through, makes it 2-0, puts in the driving seat. But in the second half, Stuttgart do respond with Didavi scoring a goal. But we'll pile on the pressure more. Daka plays it out to Mukiele, who whips in a beautiful ball to Hwang, who gets his second, puts a 3-1 up and wins us the game. The boys are absolutely flawless today. That's all I can say really. Into our third match of December now though, against Mainz. We're home. This time I'm okay simming. 20 minutes in, Navigator puts us 1-0 up. Then again in the 30th minute, Lautaro Martinez gets one. And that ends the game 2-0. Getting a lot of early goals, they just end up winning us the game. Not opposed to that at all, I will have to say. But we're straight in the next game. It's an away sim, this time against Frankfurt. And I do kind of have to sim it. I've only got one more playable game for the last 2 games, and I want to save it just in case I need it. But we do go 1-0 down early on to Andre Silva, followed by Andre Silva winning a penalty, which he puts down the middle of the prick. So 2-0 down at half time. I jump in to try and get things under control, but straight away, Andre Silva gets his hat-trick, 3-0 down. Hwang then played it through to Lautaro, get 1 goal back there, and we're just hitting them with the counter-attack here. Lautaro's in again, slots it in the bottom right-hand corner, giving us a shimmer of hope. But of course, Frankfurt, they're not letting me have this one. In the 90th minute, to get through, Kostic shoots, Galati does just enough. The ball's rolling in, but Michele's had to clear it. But it's fizzed straight back in. Andre Silva with a 1-2, and on the volley, gets his 4th goal to win the game 4-2 to Frankfurt. First loss of the episode. Very unfortunate, but not much we could have done. And our last game, we obviously have to sim now against Wolfsburg. It's a home one. We get a penalty 15 minutes in. Silas steps up to hit it, puts it just over the bar. Very unfortunate, but just for half time, he wins himself another one. This time puts the bottom left, getting us to 1-0 lead. In the second half, with 15 minutes to go, Matteo Pessina levels it for Wolfsburg, and that is how the game ends, unfortunately. Such a good start, the end with a loss and a draw. But we've made some good progress this episode, I do have to say that much. And that means we're all the way up now to the January transfer window, which will be in the next episode. Owen and myself will be trying to improve our teams. We go for a second long stint at the season. As you can see the table here, at the minute, Bayern are on top with 43 points, with Owen and myself tied on 36 points, 7 points behind. Owen with a higher goal difference sitting second, me in third. So we've got some points to try and take out of them this season. But we'll see what happens in the next episode when the transfer window does happen. So yes, that is the end of this episode. If you enjoyed it, it'd be so massively appreciated if you drop a like on it. And if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe. Next episode should be out very, very soon. Along with obviously all the other stuff in the channel. We've got some big things coming next FIFA with FIFA 22's new information coming out. We've got some massive things planned for that, so you don't want to miss that. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And yes, that is where we're ending off today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.